Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. I'm Cheryl, and this is True Crime and Other Stuff. Thanks for being here, where I like to bring you the facts about true crime, the missing, current events, or anything I find interesting or important. Today, I want to talk about the hurricane and what's really going on. So I made a few videos. I put clips together of different people. Cinema Shogun, he's been doing a really good job. Shout out to Cinnamon. Keep up the good work. And there's Nita's World. There's, what else? Queen City News and some other places I'll put in the description down below. So let's take a look at the first one.
It's gonna hit the pool though right here. Holy. It just ripped it in half.
We're trying to get you guys out of the hospital. Please be patient and understanding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone here for prescriptions only? Prescriptions only.
Well, we didn't make it for the milk. For Wednesday, October 2nd. It's gone.
Okay, now it's really like the apocalypse.
More empty aisles.
It's literally the apocalypse.
It's getting worse. We got trees down in the backyard. On to the neighbor's building. I'm scared to death of what's going to happen. It's going to be, I got a river running through the backyard behind the muscadine vine. Trees down. I'm under the carport. It quit for a moment. And I ran out here to see. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's looking pretty rough out here. Front yard's hard to see from here. The backyard, the trees down. We're having intermittent sheets of rain, and then it's easing off a little bit. Could be a lot worse, but I'm worried about that tree.
there's just very difficult to get to them.
And that's a big issue. I don't think that even the Avery County Sheriff Mike Henley and his staff have done a fantastic job, but these are rural communities. They may only have 30 or 40 officers in their whole community. So it's a manpower strain. We've been sending a good many people up there. Finally, you see some National Guard and FEMA coming, but they usually generally dealing at the food distribution centers or the hubs. It's still the small departments that are going into these areas and reaching other people. We finally got across the river. You're showing a picture of the river that we finally got across just a few days ago to look for a missing school teacher that was swept off of her roof. Her husband was thrown on the bank. She was swept away. We looked for her for 3 days unsuccessfully. So it's something I've never seen. I would suggest that you donate to your organizations like your Red Cross. What we are experiencing is a lot of great people wanting to help, and they bring things up to the mountains, and it just causes a lot of traffic. It causes a lot of logistical issues because they get up there and then they realize, well, I don't have enough gas to get home, and there's no gasoline up there. So if you're wanting to donate, donate through national organizations that we respect, like your Red Cross and your other groups, Americans Purse, things like that, and let them be the coordinator of it.
Sheriff, do you have any idea how many people are out there that haven't been reached and so desperately need help? How many people?
I can speak about Avery County. Avery County is where we've been working. I would say that 70% of Avery County can get to food and water and can get to things, but there's probably still about 30% of their backcountry that is not accessible other than helicopter, other than ATVs. Avery counties have, as of yesterday, had 2 fatalities, but there's a lot more. There's several missing people that a dozen or more that we know that were actually saw swept away that we haven't located. So I think as the days go on, this number is going to get drastically worse.
Okay, I want to say that Samaritan's Purse, they are a very good organization. If you donate, that's who you want to donate to. They will make sure that the people in need get their donations. Okay, so now we're going to take another look at some more videos. I mean, who can tell you better than the people who are already there? And shout out again to Cinema Shogun. I'm going to let him speak for like 3 minutes. If you want to watch his videos, go over to his channel. I'll put a link in the description box. And let's just take a look at this one.
Tires. 50 trucks with strap slashed tires. That's on I-40 through Tennessee. Exit 126 in Holiday, Tennessee. The Loves had 5 trucks. One guy had 9 tires slashed. And exit 163 at the Loves in Dixon, Tennessee, there were 16 trucks with tires slashed. So if y'all are traveling through that area, avoid those truck stops. Try not to stay overnight in those truck stops. That's for now. They've got authorities working on what's going on, and it's some kind of an activist group that is doing this. So y'all be careful and be safe out there.
So update right now, the biggest problem after Hurricane Helene is just you're not able to move. Some of my friends just try to go to Tennessee. The roads are completely blocked off. You're not getting out. We're trapped in. There's a lot of looters. Please stay safe. Stay inside. If you have a weapon, keep it on you, because there are people intentionally sabotaging stuff. So over on I-40, there was some truckers coming in with supplies and medical stuff trying to help us. They stopped at a truck stop to get some rest. When they woke up, their tires were slashed. Nothing was stolen, just tires were slashed. The same thing is happening all over the place. People are intentionally just vandalizing stuff, not stealing, just vandalizing. And then there's looting happening in all the stores. I'll come back with an update in about 5 or 6 hours. Everyone stay safe.
What you just saw is someone in the mountains of North Carolina signaling to a private citizen that owns a helicopter that they're down there stranded on the mountain and they need help. Because random people who own helicopters are having to come in and save the people in the mountains of North Carolina because our government is not doing so. And there's just some really shady stuff going on with the response to Hurricane Helene, especially in North Carolina. But there's weird stuff going on in Tennessee and even places like Augusta, Georgia as well. Now, in the other videos that I made on this topic, I mentioned that our government is not, I repeat, is not doing everything they can to help the victims of this storm. In fact, they admitted that FEMA has run out of money. We have spent all our money on immigrants. We've spent all our money helping the war efforts in Ukraine and Israel. And now the people of America get nothing. We do not get the help that we are willing to extend to other countries. So many people in North Carolina are still stranded as we speak. But I also mentioned something in my other videos that got some people's panties up in a bunch. You see, I said that I think that our government, the powers that be, I think that not only are they not providing us the help that we need, or they're not providing those people the help that they need, but they are also doing things to purposely make things worse. I believe that our government and the powers that be often do little things to make sure that these disasters are worse than what they have to be. I think they do things to ensure that more people die and that more people are left with nothing, so they have to depend on daddy government. Now, some people get upset when I say things like that. They clutch their pearls and they say, well, I have family in law enforcement. I have family in the National Guard. I have family that's a first responder or a paramedic. Listen, who you know, who your family is, where you used to work, that has nothing to do with anything. It amazes me. We live in a day and age where you all have the internet. If you're watching this video, you have the internet. There's also thousands upon thousands of history books out there. Do your research. Learn a little bit more about what our government is capable of. Learn about the things our government has done in the past, and then you won't be shocked in the present when you see the government doing the same thing, doing shady things to its own people.
All right. So I agree with Cinema. I think he's right. And I think y'all should go over and check out his videos because he's doing a really great job covering this. We're going to take another look at another video that I put together. And then we're going to take a look at this video about this couple that was separated on the mountain where the guy went to rescue this husband and wife, and he could only rescue the wife because he was threatened that he was going to go to jail, and his son was up there with the guy, and he did finally get to go get his son, which was his co-pilot, But he had to leave the man up there, and they were worried. So we'll take a look at that and see what happened. They were reunited, so I'll say that. Okay, let's take a look at this video, and then we'll look at that. All right.
See what's left, more or less what's left of my house. Lived there 46 years on the river. A beautiful, beautiful place. Horses. We had 2 horses that drowned. We had fish in the river. We had cats. It's gone. It's gone. And we're just living day to day. You know, I told myself you can lay down and quit, Bob, or you can get up, and I got up. That's all I know to do. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm on the bridge talking to you. There's a lot of people that don't have that luxury in Avery County. There's people still stranded, people that been there 5 days, and you know, we don't know if they're alive or dead and stuff. My heart breaks for them. I hope that the government or the state or somebody realizes that these small communities, small towns, need to be taken care of as much as people in Asheville or Augusta, Georgia. I'm not saying they're not hurting, I know they are. But it seems like they're getting the benefits and we're getting the leftovers.
In the area and things like that. But what I'm saying is, like, from what I'm hearing from the people on the ground, the government's kind of a non-factor right now. The only thing they're doing is they're kind of screwing things up because they're stopping people from providing the help that they came there to provide. But let's go ahead and roll this clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
I'm currently in Asheville, North Carolina with my company, doing disaster security for a dialysis company. And we're also doing search and rescue for patients to bring them to dialysis so they don't die. This place is a war zone, people, and the military is not here. And the reason I'm pissed, because I was part of the operation during Hurricane Katrina. I was stationed in San Diego, and within 96 hours, we were in Louisiana. And these bastards are not sending the military here. There's so much destruction. There's no news crews here. That's why you're not seeing it. The American people should be angry at what our government is doing to this town. There are people hurting here. There are so many people dying. I drove past a young kids about 5 to 7 years old. They were brother and sister, and they were looking for their parents. We got them to a church. These young kids don't know where their mom and dad are. And the military is being fucking hamstringed by these goddamn DOD fucking executives. If you're not angry, you should be. Because this is what our government thinks about us. They're not here to help us. We have to take care of ourselves. There's towns here that are self-policing. We drove into towns where the town folk came up to us and said, "What are you doing here?" So we're looking for patients. We're trying to get them help. And they welcomed us with open arms. This is bad, people. You're not here. It is very bad. We need water. We need food. We need clothes. I'm in a budget motel, and I'm very grateful, and I feel somewhat guilty that I have a roof over my head and a shower. And it's right across from the airport. There was a man that took off yesterday in his helicopter to go up in the mountains to drop off food. He landed and got arrested and said he was interfering with the government, a government operation. But there's no operations going on. I'm sick to my stomach that our government treats our American people this way. And then when they get slapped in the face, oh, here's $750. After we sent over $200 billion overseas. Mayorkas, you're a traitor to your country.
Well, there you, there you go. That's from the people that are there in it. Now I got this video from Queen City News. about the couple that I was telling you about earlier. We'll take a look at this and then we'll be done.
Time since we showed you the rescue attempt of a Lake Lure couple stranded on a cliff, we now know what happened to the husband. He was left behind after the volunteer chopper pilot who saved his wife was forced to end that rescue effort under the threat of arrest by a Lake Lure fire official. Here's Queen City News Chief Investigator Jody Barr.
I was able to look him up a few minutes after I left.
And who is this?
His title online is the Assistant Chief of Lake Lure Fire and Rescue.
This is the man volunteer helicopter pilot Jordan Sidum said threatened to arrest him if he made one more trip up a Lake Lure mountain to rescue another person. Just minutes before, a couple waved Sidum down as he passed overhead. Mike and Susan Coffey were stranded on a cliff after the storm washed away their home and the land it sat on.
We could see the water starting to get much more violent, right? And we could see trees start to go down and the water levels start to rise, but we kind of thought we were safe because we were so high up. And then we started to hear a lot of noises.
Rumbling.
Just rumbling.
It wasn't thunder. What's this weird rumbling?
Yeah, trees falling,
right.
Rocks, so it got a little bit frightening at that point. We actually sat there and then we watched our house go. The cliff just dropped. That whole side of the road, the cliff just dropped off, right? All of the trees and the dirt and everything else just started collapsing.
For the next 2.5 days, the couple slept in their car, surviving on 2 bottles of water and 2 bags of chips.
Friday night. I mean, we had the water, we had potato chips. We're also dehydrating. Like, well, that was a great pick, But so by the next morning, we were starting to get worried again of what we would have to be able to drink. We started to see helicopters go over. So every time we heard a copter, we'd just run out and start waving. There was a big pile of rocks at the house next door. So we did a big SOS sign in the cul-de-sac with the rocks and just staying in the moment to stay positive and not worry too much. And then we saw this small black helicopter fly and we were waving at it and it stopped.
And it actually stopped.
Well, yeah, it circled over us.
When you saw that helicopter make a U-turn and start coming toward you, what was going through your mind at that moment?
Thank God. Thank God somebody saw us. Somebody was trying to help somewhere. So that was the first time somebody actually stopped and acknowledged that we were there.
And so Mike says, of course, for me to go first, he'll stay there with the cat. And then Jordan says, I'll come back and get you.
Sidum left his son with Mike Coffey and flew Susan to what Sidum described as a command post 3 minutes away near Lake Lure.
So we land and I get out of the helicopter and I go towards them. And so then Jordan is able to come out and they're just standing there looking very mad and very annoyed. And so who are you? I didn't realize he had just taken it upon himself, followed his heart to come help rescue people. And this communication is so down, it's hard to know who to let know that he has this free airspace that he can go do this. So he was telling them who he was and what he was doing. And they just were just not happy. They weren't happy about it. And he said, this is our mission. This is our operation. We can't just have you flying in and out. And so he was trying to tell them, Jordan was telling them, well, I can't just leave her husband there. I don't want to separate a family. So if you just let me go back and get her husband, and then I'll bring him here, and then I'll take my son and we'll go.
One of the Michigan firemen Sidum says he spoke to and who gave him radio frequencies to help coordinate with them told him to do whatever he had to. Susan Coffey witnessed that conversation.
Pretty much told him, in a way, break the rule, just go get her, go get the husband so that they can be reunited. So that's why I thought that it was okay that he was going to be able to go get him. I didn't know that then he was threatened with arrest. He was told just to leave. And so I thought he was going to go get my husband. And
he informed me when he got there. And when I got to the door, he said, I am so sorry, but I'm told if I bring you back that I'm going to be arrested and I can't take you back with me. And in fact, I was told I couldn't come get my co-pilot, my son. I just told him I'm not going to leave my son here. He said, I am so sorry. I don't know what to tell you, but I need to take my son and we're going to leave. And they've told me they're aware of where you are and you will be rescued. He takes off. I had no idea where my wife was. I couldn't comprehend what was going on. Like, how did this make sense? And when, if ever, I was going to be reunited with her, or how long it would take for some other rescue crew to get back to me. So that was the most stressful part of the whole experience. I can watch my house go. I can watch our neighbors' houses go. We were together, right? And we knew each other was safe. And when he left, that thought, right, just kind of disappeared. Like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen from here.
Coffee hiked down the cliff and found what he believes is that same Michigan rescue crew from the command post.
Probably 25 minutes later, I saw a rescue crew across the river, and I was waving them down, and I was able to get down the banks to our side of the river where I could at least yell and communicate across the river saying, do you have my wife? Do you know where my wife is? And they were giving me the thumbs up.
They used ropes to drag him across the raging debris-filled river to safety.
And the very first thing he said to me was, are you okay? Are you Mike Coffey? We've got your wife, so she's safe. So at that point, I could relax, knowing that she was safe. Those guys also, they came down from Michigan. They don't know us from anybody. They were willing to put their lives on the line. They're also heroes in the story.
Was there a point in time when either of you thought maybe you may not see one another again?
Of course.
I certainly did. Yeah.
You didn't know who took me, and at that point.
I mean, honestly, this guy shows up in a helicopter, he takes your wife, and then he comes back and says, oh, I can't pick you up, right? I had no idea when
things go through your mind, right?
I was going to see her again, where she was taken.
After a few hours, the Coffeys found one another again.
So when the bus came back to get me, and then I see the doors open and Mike's head sticks out, and he's like, Susan, Mike, oh my God. I was so relieved that, that he was picked up and that we were back together.
In the days after the storm, the communication lines were down at Town Hall. No phone, internet, or cell signal either. We sent messages to Assistant Chief Chris Melton. The man Jordan Sidum said,
okay, I'm going to pause right there. And, because they're going to talk to somebody. It's not this Chris Melton guy. He's unavailable. But this guy asks some very good questions. But right now, I just wanted to thank everybody for watching my videos. I need 600 watch hours so I can get monetized. So if y'all could just give me a thumbs up and watch some of my videos and help me get my 600 hours, then that'd be very awesome. Thanks. And then we're going to watch the rest of this video. All right, here we go.
ran him and any other pilot who showed up out of town under threat of arrest. But Melton never responded. Thursday morning, instead of making Assistant Chief Melton available, the town offered its town manager for an interview.
So the personal aircraft that landed was not only unauthorized, but also they provided no notification that they were coming. And that did pose a potential risk to ongoing operations with search and rescue. And then, also just wasn't safe for them to be there as regular citizens, especially since we didn't know, who they were or what they were doing there.
In the days after the storm, through that Sunday morning, there was no restricted airspace in Lake Lure. The FAA did impose a temporary flight restriction after this encounter between Mr. Sidum and the Assistant Fire Chief Melton. So you all still contend today that no one should have been in that area trying to save these people who had been stranded for 2 days, headed into day 2, next to day 3?
Correct. If anything, they should have at least notified Incident Command, who would have authorized them or not authorized them to be in that area.
Sidham said he did exactly that. When he landed at the Rutherford County Airport and spoke with the people in charge, Sidham says airport officials told him they were only selling fuel to private aircraft if those pilots were helping in the search and rescue effort. Sidham has the receipts showing a fuel purchase going into Lake Lure that Sunday morning and one after the arrest threat just 2 hours later.
And
I'm unaware
of that.
Yep.
Ms. Stuman, less than 24 hours later, private pilots were being asked to return to that area to do what Mr. Sidham was doing at that time. Do you see how that the public may look at that and go, well, that's a little perplexing that, just before he was severely endangering rescue efforts, and then, less than a day later, they're being begged to come back and help?
Well, I can only imagine that they went through the correct chain of command to be authorized to come here.
What was the danger posed in what Mr. Sidham did, the specific danger that day?
Well, it interrupted operations of the people who were there from national, state, and local resources, one, and two, downtown Chimney Rock is in disarray right now. For someone who's not trained, not adequately trained in emergency operations, especially at that time, they should not have been in that location.
Well, just some hours later, he was back in the area, and the county welcomed him in to do exactly what he did just the day before. Do you think his training was significantly improved overnight?
I think that it's not that we're turning away help or volunteerism at all. Once again, we just need to go through the right steps to do that. So we're aware, the state is aware, Rutherford County is aware, and the town of Lake Lure and village of Chimney Rock is aware of what's going on. That was not the case initially.
Are you all welcoming those private helicopter pilots who have delivered food and water and medical supplies and are helping rescue human lives from the mountains around Lake Lure? Are you guys welcoming them now?
That would need to go through the Rutherford County Emergency Management or the State Emergency Management.
I'm asking you as an official, the leader of Lake Lure, North Carolina, are you now welcoming those private helicopters in your community?
Yes, if they go through the necessary channels.
Do you think that your people on the ground in Lake Lure did what they should have done when they handled this flooding victim that was delivered to them in the encounter between Assistant Chief Melton and this private pilot?
Yes, sir. They were doing what they were supposed to do at that time. And, I can't speak highly enough of Mr. Melton and all of our emergency personnel that's here right now. They've been out here for days on end, putting their lives on the line to save people. And, they were doing their job.
What would you say to him today?
I would ask that why he didn't take the time to assess the whole situation and make a better decision. As an emergency manager, director, and assistant chief of the fire department, that's the time that you should try to be coordinating with outside agencies to get more help in. That's your job title, and there wasn't much coordination going on.
Sidham told us the only thing he regrets is leaving Mike Coffey behind, and whatever price he had to pay, he should have paid it.
I'm sorry. If I had to do it over again, I would have stopped and I would have rescued as many people until they decided they were going to arrest me.
He got my wife at his own cost, at a risk to himself, and he was the one person who actually stopped to help just because he could, right? I mean, he got in his helicopter and flew up there just because he knew he could make a difference to someone, and he did. He's a hero. Yeah. I'm sure everyone's stressed in that scenario, but he was following his heart and doing the right thing. Maybe there were rules that somebody would like to impose order on the chaos, but the bottom line is getting those people out of there. And even if I had never been rescued, knowing that she was safe because what he did would have been enough. So thank you, Jordan. Thank you.
Less than 24 hours after we interviewed Jordan Sidham, he was invited back into the disaster area, along with dozens of other private chopper pilots. A massive all-volunteer supply and rescue effort is working out of the Hickory Airport, doing flight rescues and delivering supplies to places where military helicopters are just too big to get into. The latest numbers we have show those volunteer pilots have rescued somewhere around 200 people and have delivered several tons of food, water, and medical supplies to people still stranded in the North Carolina mountains. In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, Queen City News wants to remind you about the ways that you can help. And when you scan the QR code on your screen, it'll take you to our website with more information on contributing, and you can find that information online at qcnews.com.
All right, thanks for watching my videos. That's all I have. Let me make a special shout out to my little sister. Happy birthday, Sarah. I hope you have a good one. Peace.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future. We all start losers. We're all late bloomers. Gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build